Here we are. Sukkot is coming. We have a mitzvah from the Torah. Basukot tishvu shivat yamim. You shall sit in the sukkah for 7 days, and that means to live there. We move into the sukkah. That's where we eat. That's where we sleep. That's where we sit down to play. That's where we do everything in the sukkah. 7 days in Eretz Israel. Outside of Eretz Israel, we have a second day of Yom Tov, so it makes it 8 days. That sukkah has to be a kosher sukkah. So there is Mishnayot, that in the Mishnayot it is specified exactly how to build a sukkah, what makes it kosher, what makes it not kosher. I would like to go over a few things with you, very basic stuff of what makes the sukkah kosher. So, the sukkah has to have at least 3 walls and has to have the schach, what goes above to cover it. So I'll take you for a little bit of a tour for the sukkah that my husband built with the boys. The sukkah. First you build the walls, okay? It's in mid-construction. Excuse the mess, okay? So you first make the walls. You have to have at least 3 walls. After you have the walls, then you could put the schach. The walls have to be actual walls, and that means that they have to be able to withstand a normal wind. So a wind that it's not when we had like 2 weeks ago the leftovers of a hurricane, not like that, but wind that is common where you live, that the walls have to be able to withstand that wind. Therefore, canvas, fabric, things like that cannot be walls. So what do people who have canvas sukkah do? They really have to do some other things that would be considered a wall. And if they don't do that, then their sukkah is really not kosher. So if you have a canvas sukkah, make sure that you know how to do what you need to do properly. The schach, okay, here. Schach is what we have above us, okay? It has to be something that grew from the ground, okay? And it has to be that is not connected to the ground. So you can't build a sukkah under a tree. That will not work. It has to be something that did originally grow from the ground, but it's not connected to the ground anymore. The sukkah has to be under the sky, so it cannot be under a porch, it cannot be under a tree, etc. And it has to be that tzila meruba mechamata, that there is more shade in it than sun in it. And obviously, if there is a place where there is no schach, that place, the sukkah will not be kosher altogether. Now, the mitzvah of sukkah is a mitzvah shazman grama. It's a mitzvah that depends on time. It's only a certain time of the year. And therefore, us ladies are not obligated in the mitzvah of sukkah. If we do it in the sukkah, we get schach for it. We get rewarded for it. But we are not obligated to. Men are not allowed to have a meal outside of the sukkah on the Chag of Sukkot, unless it's raining or unless there is any other emergency excuses that make it impossible. Another thing, that the schach cannot lean on the metal frame. So if you have a metal frame, also ask your Rav or someone that knows how to build a kosher sukkah, what to do with that. And the last thing, if you have a non-Jew to build your sukkah, that's fine, but the schach has to be put on by a Jew. A non-Jew cannot put the schach for you. So that's most of it. It's not all of it. There are more details. Please make sure your sukkah is kosher and enjoy it. Chag Sameach.